Okay, welcome to the Grigg and Rig show. We have a very exciting special guest, our good friend,
Mandem.
our good friend Brandon.
Mandem. Let's
He's
go.
well, he's a big fan of one of the already eliminated teams, but we're not here to make fun of him for that. Um,
Hello.
but
Right.
yeah, just some general World Cup talk. So I think we're gonna start off with kind of teams that have already been eliminated and kind of say some final words, kind of an obituary of sorts. So I think we should start off with the U.S. What did you guys take away from the 4 games over in Qatar?
I mean, dude, I feel like with the way our team was selected, I don't think we maximized our selections in terms of just bringing in. I don't know, bro. After seeing Haji Wright play for 3 games, I'm just thinking to myself, could we have not picked someone better? Like, we have a guy named Ricardo Pepi who's playing, I think, in Germany right now. He's like pretty young. I think he's like a pretty dynamic option who could have been a little bit of a quick pace guy. I don't know if he's a true out and out nine or not, but disregarding the selections, I think the manager just got outclassed, especially in the last knockout game. I mean, Louis Van Gaal is a seasoned veteran. The guy's been around forever. Just outclassed him out. Just the tactics were just different. There's levels to it, man. That's how I kind of saw it. I don't know. I don't really trust in Pulisic either as like a top option for like an international team. I know he's been like the golden child for 5, 6 years now. I personally think Gio Reyna is better than him if he's healthy. I don't know why we didn't play Gio Reyna more than 30 minutes the whole tournament either. I don't get that. I'm not going to question that because I don't care enough to think about it. But yeah, man, pretty disappointing. I feel like we could have been really a quarterfinal team if things went right. Villains is a tough draw. They're a good team, coach. But I mean, I don't know. I guess making out the groups is okay. That's kind of how I feel. Pretty indifferent. So.
Are you a bear halter out guy or not?
I don't think it's a controversial thing to say. I think that's like pretty well known within the crowd. I mean, we've got Jesse Marsh sitting there. I mean, Klinsman. I don't know if Klinsman would want to come back or not, but
No,
I would.
please no.
I feel like Jurgen would have been a good manager for this team, man. Now that a lot of these guys play in Europe, like they actually like understand the system a little bit more of like what he wanted to play. I don't know. This is revisionist history, though. I was 8 years ago. But
Okay.
anyway, Brandon, what do you think? What were your thoughts on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I'm definitely a Bearhalter out guy. I think that he's more concerned with his shoe selection than his team selection on any given match day.
Let's go.
Wow. God, the fucking tidbits this week.
So, I don't know. I think I had heard some rumors about him having some falling out with Gio Reyna, and if that played any role into him not giving him more minutes, I think that that's ridiculous. Um, Gio is definitely one of the US's most talented, just raw talented players. Obviously, both of his parents are ex-professionals. I mean, he's been doing this since forever. But also just, I mean, offensively, yeah, there was just a lack of creativity. I feel like I saw a lot of kind of, just hopeful crosses. There wasn't really any connection, it felt like, between the midfield and the offense. There was a lack of clear-cut chances. And then obviously us not capitalizing on, some of those gimme chances,
Yeah.
especially, the early chance from Pulisic in the knockout game. Disappointing for sure. I think every USA soccer fan that comes around every 4 years, well, I guess it's been 8 years now. We'll see them again in 2026. And I would like to think that the US would make a deeper run in 2026 when the World Cup comes back to when it comes to North America. Um, so I mean, honestly, I wouldn't give them any. I wouldn't give them a ton of credit for any like major performances. I wouldn't say that they were that great.
Oh, he's having
I
fun.
don't.
He's having
Oh,
fun.
This man's acting up. He's acting up.
Serving it, bro. He's serving looks, bro.
Um. Um. But yeah, I would like to think that you know I think that us making it to the round of 16 is commendable. Like, and it's not like, we came up against a strong Dutch side. for our first game. I don't think anybody was expecting us to win. No logical soccer fan was expecting us to win that matchup. Yeah.
We on good, bro. We on good. He needs to contribute. He's contributing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I agree with your points, though, Brandon. I agree with you. I think considering in 2026 will be, I think this year we were the second youngest side in the whole World Cup. I'm pretty sure, if not the youngest. These guys will all be 4 years more experienced. Our entire midfield's average age is probably like 22 or some shit. Musa's like 19 years old. McKennie's probably our age, 24, 25. Adams is like younger than us, 22, 23. Our midfield is solid. Like those three are great. It's just an issue of our attackers. We haven't developed any good attackers really besides Pulisic, and Reina's kind of like an attacking mid type, I feel like. Although I don't watch enough Bundesliga to know what he really plays, but I don't know. I think
I feel like I have a little bit of pushback because I mean Pulisic did play pretty well. I feel like, right? I mean, he had 2 goals and an assist. I mean,
he got beat up. He got beat up.
He was pretty good
in that tournament.
In like
dude, those set pieces, he should not be our corner kick guy. His corner kicks are terrible. I'll say that. I will just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he scored timely goals. He scored the goal that advanced us. That's true. I'll give him that.
And like, I agree that Reina probably should have played, and even like Aronson, but like I do think our midfield as a whole like played pretty well for the most part. So I'm wondering like who do you like drop from that midfield, or like do you just like you play like a false 9 or something and then have like Pulisic and like Weah as your wingers? But I don't know.
I think I would like to see. I would like to see, obviously Reina or Aronson playing like an attacking midfielder, and then I don't know how they would split up McKennie and Tyler Adams if they're playing more of like a box to box, on the same level. Obviously, Tyler Adams is maybe slightly more of a holding midfielder traditionally. I don't know if Weston. Does he usually play like a box to box?
I think he's box to box. Yeah. He's box to box. Honestly,
so I mean, 2 box to boxes, 1 attacking.
Yeah. What I was going to suggest, guys, is that I think like maybe playing a false 9 would have been okay. I think Pulisic could play in a false 9 role up the middle. I don't think that would be a bad spot for him personally. I mean, he's fast, of course, but I do think he's a very good creative outlet. He can link up with the midfield more easily if we play a false 9 as opposed to having an out-and-out 9. And our 9s suck. We haven't developed a good 9 since probably Dempsey, I feel like. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel we could have just made these tactical tweaks that could have helped us at least look more convincing. Like, yes, we made it out of the group. You're right, Brandon, that is commendable. I just think, though, the optics of it, the way we actually looked throughout that tournament. The England result was a win for us, but I think we looked pretty good in that game, actually, compared to England. I mean, I have reservations about Southgate. I think a lot of us do, but we played well against them. I think the Wales game was tough, though, because we just did not play well in that second half at all. And even the Iran game, I mean, they peppered us in the second half. Like, they had the ball for most of the second half, it felt like, and we survived with the skin of our teeth that end of that game there. So, man, I mean, you're right, though. Nowhere to go but up for in 4 years. We'll be 4 years more experienced. I think expectations should be higher. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty pleased. I think they looked a lot better than I thought they would, and they looked a lot better than I thought 2014. Like they actually like string passes together. Like there wasn't any creativity in the final third, and we didn't like finish well either. Like you said, like we don't.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
Yeah, terrible. We don't have like a true 9. But yeah, it seems like we have a bunch of like really good, or not really good, but like solid midfielders. So it's like I'm just wondering like, if you add in Reina, you have to drop like Musa, McKennie, or Adams, who all had like pretty good tournaments, or you run like a 4 midfield.
Reina can play the wing though, dude. I don't think he just needs to be pigeonholed into a midfield role, in my opinion. Like he's creative enough to where he can play like an outside wing role and drift inward. He could easily fill that role for us, in my opinion. Aronson's a little tougher. I think he's more of a midfielder type, but he could also play the flanks if he needed to, or even he could play a false 9, in my opinion. Put Pulisic out on the right. I don't know. There's a lot of permutations we could have with this team. I think that you're right, Griff. We do look better than we did 8 years ago. I think that's a byproduct of more U.S. players playing in Europe now, and like actual like American people playing in Europe. That 2014 team had like 5 Germans played for the American team. I think, as far as I remember, there was just not much European talent, like the European domestic talent from America there at the time. And that's only going to increase. I mean, we're seeing the talent that's getting better. I mean, America's developing better players now. It's just, question
Right.
of where we set our expectations for the now 48-team World Cup in 4 years.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for us to advance with that, you would think.
And I mean, I think that we're gonna have. I mean, by the time 2026 rolls around, we're gonna have, those future Aaronsons, those future Timothy Weahs, the guys that maybe weren't exactly as on the scene when we didn't qualify in 2018. But we're gonna have more breakout youngsters to come in 2026, and hopefully, those guys that are cemented into the squad now will kind of be able to light the torch. I don't know, pave the way for a more successful result.
I mean, they actually have legit talent now. It's not just Michael Bradley and Dempsey. Kind of haggling away.
John Brooks.
Dempsey's legit, bro. Dempsey's legit.
Well, I guess
I'm not gonna have Dempsey slander.
I don't know. He was pretty.
Pretty old.
Yeah, he's
pretty old, dude. I mean, he's just old.
No, you're right. He was good. He was good. Shouldn't be dissing him.
He's just a pundit now. Fox pundit.
Dude, Fox. We need to devote like 30 seconds to Fox Soccer, bro. I need to like switch to Telemundo and watch the rest of the tournament on that because I can't stand these Americans, bro. I see Lalo gives me an aneurysm, bro. Every time I hear that guy, John Strong screaming like 10 seconds before anything remotely exciting occurs in a game, like. Fuck American soccer announcers, legitimately. Fuck them.
They don't know how to call the game. Like you listen to like a Premier League game and like they're just like much more even temper. Like they let the game kind of speak for itself, and then the American announcers are just like calling every single pass and play, and it's like
call it like a football game, like an NFL game.
Yeah.
It's like chill, just chill. Stop trying to Americanize this great sport, dude. Like, my opinion on that. But anyway, yeah, dude. Think that the U.S. As we just kind of capped off at the end, I think they have a ways to go. Step in the right direction, as you said, Griff. Higher expectations, I would hope, in 2026. New management, ideally, but yeah.
Sure. Okay, so Vig, you want to talk about Uruguay, and Brandon, you will discuss Germany. I'll leave it to you two to who wants to talk first.
Go ahead, bro. You're the guest.
All right.
Here we go. Here's the rant.
So, I mean, truly, Hansi Flick's Germany, bro. I mean, like, honestly, there's not a whole lot I would say to complain about. I think it's unfortunate their situation with having one bad result and then, having arguably a predictable result against Spain, something that most people at the beginning of the tournament probably would have predicted somewhere around the draw. It was a great match. I think that Germany also kind of lacks an out-and-out striker apart from Niklas Füllkrug, who's that new Werder Bremen guy who's stepping onto the scene. And I think that I would have liked to see him get the start. Even against Costa Rica, I don't think he got the start. He came on and scored. He came on and scored in the Spain match. And I think that him starting potentially from the beginning of the tournament as the out-and-out striker and the guy who could just really find the back of the net would have benefited Germany a lot more. And I'm sure Hansi Flick is probably kicking himself about that because he saw how easily he scored both times as a sub. Yeah, I mean, it was just they should have beat Japan, and the fact that they lost that game. And I would argue that Neuer gifted them one of those goals. The way that he dealt with the original shots on target, he kind of just flicked it right back onto I don't know who scored that first goal for them. And then even in their second goal, when the Japanese guy was coming in from the right, I think that Neuer could have just done better to deal with that. He was looking for a low shot, but most guys take high shots from those tight angles anyways. Yeah, that's kind of my complaints about Germany, but I think that they played solid against Spain. Obviously, they got a fine result against Costa Rica. It just wasn't as convincing as a result as Spain obviously had in the first match day. So I think they still have a great side. I think that Jamal Musiala is one of the brightest youngsters. Definitely not a finisher by any means, but a creator. He's a creator.
Incredible, yeah.
Boy, he can dribble. He really, I think, he can really dribble. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's out of them. Obviously, they've got some other young guys coming through, like Schlotterbeck. I don't know how old Raum is, but some of these guys that we didn't see even in like 2020 Euros. Nabry looked debatable.
What happened to Brandon? What happened to Gosens, bro? I didn't see him anywhere this tournament. He was pretty good in the Euros, I remember.
That's a great question. I didn't see anything about why he was left out of the squad.
Yeah. I think I saw too that the German FA is like gonna keep Flick on. Is that
Yeah, they re-signed him today. I think they extended him today.
how are you?
No, his contract wasn't going to expire until summer of 2024.
Okay.
But they confirmed it essentially today that he'll finish out his contract at the very least, which extends past Euro 2024, which is good to see. They have faith in him. I mean, I honestly have faith in him. Like I said, it was one bad result and that put them out of the tournament, which it's a lot better than 2018 World Cup when there was arguably 3 bad results, but 2 very bad results, with us only getting the 1 draw against Sweden, and then the 2 losses. So, yeah, I mean, I think they'll bounce back Euro 2024. Although, wow, I personally think it would have been interesting to see how they would have done if they were to face Morocco in that first round.
Yeah. That would have been a really fun match. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, dude. Go ahead, Griff. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it seems like Germany matches up a little bit better than Spain against Morocco.
And just, dude, the way they play, it's just the way they do this tiki-taka style, just tweeting 1,000 passes in a game. Same shit happened against Russia 4 years ago. They lost in pens. Rinse and repeat this year. We don't need to talk about Spain. They're too boring of a side to talk about. At least Germany's exciting.
Okay, one thing. Was that the worst penalty shootout performance you've seen?
See, I thought Japan was.
Japan, yeah.
And then I watched Spain. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I think the most surprising out of all of those was Busquets.
Yeah.
Yes. The experienced captain.
That.
You thought he would do better. Yeah. That was shocking to me, dude.
I saw this video of Yoshida and Busquets side by side, and they have very similar just like facial structures and like hairstyles and everything. They literally took the same exact pen in the same direction. Both got saved. They said bro missed the penalty in 2 different timelines.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And man, I was gonna say, Brandon, with regards to Germany, I think if Sane had come on or even started against Spain, he could have won that game, dude. He looked electric in that game. I remember he had 2 clear-cut chances at the very end as well. Like, he was just electric in that match. Like, I think their XG went up like almost a full, like, when he, like, the first half, their XG was like maybe not even 0.3 or something, and then it shot up throughout the second half by virtue of him coming on and just creating a lot of I assume left flank. I actually don't know whether he plays left or right for Germany, but
yeah, I think he played on right against the Costa Rica. But yeah, I think, like I said, Serge Gnabry, I just don't think that he had the most convincing performances. He missed a sitter against Japan. Not a sitter, but he missed a header that I think somebody of his caliber should be putting away. And yeah, I think that Hansi just decided that in the match against Costa Rica to try something different. And yeah, Sane did look good. That's true. And even when he came on as a sub, yeah, he looked solid. So it was unfortunate that he didn't get the starts in those first 2 matches.
Yeah, I mean, Germany's hosting Euros in 2 years, so they better show up for their home country then.
Yeah, if there's any time for them to turn it around, it's definitely that tournament.
There's gonna be so much pressure on them in that tournament, though. It's gonna be pretty insane.
I mean, dude, honestly, I'm happy they affirmed their commitment to Flick, because I keep seeing these stupid football Twitter rumors that, Jurgen Klopp's going to leave and join the German national team, because it's been a rumor for several years that he wants to do that at some point. I think Tuchel would be a better option before Klopp at that rate. Tuchel's just sitting there doing nothing.
I don't understand if he's pleading for Klopp to leave Liverpool right now. Or...
that'd be fantastic. Are you kidding me? I don't even know who Liverpool. Maybe they hired Tuchel if you see someone left, but
that'd be weird. That would be so weird. Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is a topic for an entirely different time, but I would like to restate that I think Steven Gerrard deserves another chance in the Premier League. I truly.
In the Prem, sure, but not for
This is
Liverpool.
my hot take. Obviously he's not ready for Liverpool, but I don't think that he was given enough time at Aston Villa after he was finally given the money to kind of start creating his side. I think he had a clear vision, and there just wasn't enough time. And that's an entirely different subject
let's not get ahead
about
of ourselves here.
fire
This is a World
culture.
Cup pod,
Yeah,
please.
you're right. Sorry,
Jesus.
A domestic pod, bro.
Liverpool fans.
Yes, many of us. Dude, I'm actually gonna do I'm gonna call a little audible here, Griff. I'm actually gonna deviate from Uruguay. Uruguay is like okay to talk about. Okay. I think obviously the tactics were messed up. They should have played Valverde higher up. Bentancur should have played higher up as well. I don't know. They're just kind of an underwhelming team in general. They have a lot of good young guys, though. I think they definitely underperformed. Even though the Ghana stories are incredible, just them Ghana missing that pen, that like generational pen in terms of importance for that country, and then them going on to lose, but still getting the moral victory by preventing them from, or them just not making it to the groups and knockouts. That's still a pretty incredible story in its own right. But I do think that we overlooked when planning this a team that's definitely underwhelmed and has a lot of drama around them right now. Belgium, we got to talk about Belgium, I think, a little bit here. I think they're just a team that they're literally the number 2 ranked team in FIFA. They finished third, I think, in Russia. They were pretty damn good in Russia. They came up against eventual winners in France. Yep. I think it took an Umtiti header to win that game for France. It wasn't by any means a blowout. It was this is my memory.
I think Belgium
remember how that game went.
If I remember.
They outplayed Brazil, that's for damn sure. And that Brazil team was pretty good too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, just the way it went for them. I mean, just all of this dissent in the locker room, just like a schism of sorts between players, like not even just like a whole team divided, just like multiple sets of players divided against each other. Like you got De Bruyne and Courtois, they got that history with like relationship stuff back in the day. You got Hazard and Trossard not being fans of each other. I saw somewhere that Lukaku and Michy Batshuayi weren't like on terms either. Just a lot of just infighting on that team. To mention Roberto Martinez, I don't know how he's still the manager of that team. Never very convinced by him as a manager. Seeing him on ESPN as a pundit for all these damn years, and now he's managing the Belgian team, like one of the best teams in Europe. Like,
wasn't Thierry Henry offered that position?
He's an assistant on Belgium, dude. He was currently an assistant. Yeah. I remember there was pictures of him like consoling Lukaku after Lukaku had that disaster class third game just now against Croatia. Fascinating to me, dude. I mean, I remember just a year ago. I mean, us three, we picked like our Euro brackets and stuff, and I had Belgium going all the way. I had so much faith in them. Lukaku just had that year with Inter where he just lit the league on fire in Italy. The big money move to Chelsea. Stock's never been higher. Now you just see what happened on last week. I feel bad for him almost, just how that game turned out. It's like, in my opinion, not entirely his fault that they faltered. I mean, he missed so many chances, but they arguably deserve to lose against Canada. Canada had like 20 shots, I think, physically against Belgium. Like, Belgium did not deserve to win that game. It didn't beat Morocco. To be fair, I didn't watch the Morocco-Belgium game, but I mean, 2-0 is 2-0, I think. I mean, they couldn't score against Morocco, or they don't know how far they would have gone even if they made it to the knockouts. I just think the drama around that team is very interesting, considering they're the golden generation. And we've been hearing about this for about 8 years now with all the good old guys they have. Emphasis on old. I mean, De Bruyne going into the media and being like, I think we're too old. I don't think we can win the World Cup because we're too old.
That was weird.
De Bruyne is a weird guy when it comes to sound bites, dude. He has some weird quotes sometimes. And it's like you have a geezer in Vertonghen right there next to you who's going to take offense to that. And literally after they lose to Morocco, he's like, I don't think it's because we're too old. Like, he literally just makes a reference to that comment like a day or so after De Bruyne made the initial comment. It's just such a weird.
And that's just that speaks to the infighting. It's just there's more disagreement, and when you lack that chemistry, how are you going to perform well?
The day the company retired, bro, I think they really just missed that like leadership that they needed in that team. I mean, having a guy like Company who's like a natural born leader like that, he paid dividends for that team. To be fair, I'm not sure if he made the 2018 World Cup squad or not. I know that the year after, he sunk Liverpool's title hopes with his goal, so I don't need to think about whether or not he was still playing then or not. But Yeah, man, it's just interesting. I mean, Hazard retired from international football today, I believe. That just came out. Like, he's only 31, but I mean, his body's like 38. That guy can't stay healthy anymore. I don't know, man. They got a lot of good young players too, like Jeremy Doku, Charles de Ketelaere, Onana for Everton. He's a pretty good young midfielder. They don't have very good defenders. That's the issue. They've been playing Alderweireld and Vertonghen for a decade plus now, and they haven't changed that. I don't know. Brandon and I were talking about this a while back. What happened to
Denier?
Denier? Yeah, I don't know what happened to Denier. Maybe he's injured or something.
Yeah.
But he didn't make the team. I mean, I would say Castagna is pretty good. Muniz is, I think, not as good anymore. Mertens is washed. He's washed. I don't know how that guy even made the team. I hadn't heard about him.
I mean,
in
he's
years.
playing in Turkish league now, right? Is he playing for Galatasaray?
Yeah, he's
I don't
out
even
in that
know. I
league.
thought,
So
yeah. So, got an interesting team, man. I mean, Trossard should have played way more. He's a good young player. He has like several goals for Brighton in the Premier League this year. They're just the selection, the squad selection. I don't think was very good. Martinez, I just don't trust him tactically as a manager. I think we're never going to see Belgium reach the heights of what they reached over the last 8 years anymore. I could see them falling down to like kind of a Poland, Switzerland level, like a good European side that'll make Euros every year, but probably World Cup every now and then too, but just not a team you think is going to be a genuine title contender. So I think their downfall is pretty fascinating considering quite a few people I'm sure picked them to win Group E. I personally had them not making it out of the group stage, so I guess I was vindicated in that regard, but Belgium is Belgium. They're like a very hyped international squad, so I think their exit's pretty fascinating.
yeah,
More so than Germany's even. So.
definitely a fall from grace to be sure. Yeah, I think you nailed. They just haven't been able to develop defenders, and I think Martinez's loyalty, that kind of golden generation, quote unquote, kind of cost him at the end. But kind of is what it is. And Company did what was on that 2018 roster. Actually, I think he might have been like hurt though. I don't know if he like played a lot.
I mean, he was probably like, he's pretty old then already. Yeah,
because I think Vertonghen and Alderweireld, yeah, you said been playing the last like 12 years. So
you would know about that, Mr. Spurs fan.
I would, man. Left back Vertonghen is a legendary figure in the Spurs lore. So
super yawn. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, so I think we can move on. I think kind of the next topic we kind of want to discuss was kind of the individual stars so far of the World Cup, and specifically like the younger stars who might command some moves to larger clubs. Kind of names like Bellingham, Gakpo, Kudos, sorry, names like that.
Gross.
Kudos, yep.
You know, it's interesting that you don't mention anything about the youngster of the year, Gavi. You know, I think that speaks volumes to their selection of Gavi being the youngster of the year. Bellingham getting snubbed. Obviously, I think Bellingham has been the best youngster at this World Cup, but Cody's definitely not far behind.
Well, I would have, but he's already on Barcelona. I don't think he's gonna move. I guess that was
He's timely. This is timely. Just zoom out here. I don't think my lighting works.
It's not looking.
Doesn't work, does it? I got a 5.9 rating yesterday. Got subbed out 63rd minute, and people are trying to say he's better than Musiala and Bellingham. Get out of here with that nonsense.
No. I agree.
So, young names that have caught your eye so far of the World Cup.
I mean, you've said them. Definitely. I mean, Cody Gakpo, I'm waiting for his updated value to come out on Transfermarkt once this World Cup subsides, because he was at 45 mil going in, and I think he's got the potential to be above 60 mil coming out of this World Cup, depending on.
I could see 80, dude. I could see 80.
Yeah, no, depending on Netherlands results and what he's able to do in their remaining matches. Yeah.
How old is he?
I think what team? He's like 23, 24.
Okay, so he's
PSV.
Not super young.
I think right in that like sweet spot though, where he's like just entering his prime though. He's not like young enough to where he's like still developing. Like he's got room to grow still, but he's also like in that point where he's like pretty well seasoned on a good team in the Dutch league. Like he's showing out them and on the international stage. He's an interesting player, dude. He's like 6'4", but he plays as like an attacking mid winger hybrid almost, and he can just it like just outside shots from outside the box. Like
he can find the back of the net.
He's a good link up player too. Like he's just a very well rounded attacker. Like he's a fun guy to watch. a very fun guy to watch. I don't know what teams he'd maybe fit on. I mean, obviously, bias aside, I've seen Liverpool links to him in the recent past. I don't think we'd go for him, though, if we're going to consider going for another guy we're going to talk about here in a sec, Mr. Bellingham. But I think he'd fit a team like that well as kind of like a hybrid attacker, kind of cutting in from the left and can play with midfield and attack. What do you guys think?
Chelsea. They seem to stockpile attacking wingers with really impunity. So he seems really a good.
I think Chelsea too.
Manchester United, they'll snag him.
It's true. I think they're in on him too.
Why?
I mean, I don't blame.
They just got Anthony.
This team knows no bounds, man.
Just more attacking players, huh?
Yeah.
Sancho hasn't really been in for them yet. I mean, it's good to have depth in that position, I would say. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, that would be a United signing for them to sign a young starlet and just kind of ruin him. Oh, I don't wish that upon him, but
I agree.
I'd like to see like a bigger Italian club get him, where he could kind of like take that next step, where he's at 24, like an Inter or, because what wasn't?
Don't say Juve. Don't say Juve.
not
Juve's
gonna
not a
say
big club
Juve.
anymore.
I wouldn't wish it. I
They're
wouldn't
not-
wish that on
They're not a
Juve.
big club anymore.
Honestly, I'd love to see him on Atalanta. I don't know if they could afford him, but that'd be really fun.
That's never gonna happen. That'd be fun though. That'd be fun.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I think with his value this year, I feel like I think that a good natural progression would be him going into Serie A, but I think that just with his meteoric rise this year, he's gonna go to La Liga or Prem.
I mean, dude, Southampton were in on him this past summer. Like that speaks to where his kind of value was in terms of just the European stage, like what teams are considering him. Like he was a very gettable guy this summer.
I think his value is like 30 million this summer.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with Enzo Fernandez, dude. Another guy we're going to talk about here in a sec, probably the Argentine midfielder. Like I know Liverpool were considered as a rumored team. They're rumored for. There's a lot of rumors though. Rumors are kind of bullshit, but it would have been a nice fit as him in the midfield. And now I bet his value is probably 70, 80, 90. It just skyrockets as a result of domestic play and this last 2 weeks of performances by some of these guys here. So
yeah,
points as to how important the World Cup is.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta be kind of a buyer's beware though with some of these World Cup breakout players. To be sure, gotta be a little careful.
Yeah.
But
and James never lived up to his expectations when he signed for Madrid after that 2014 World Cup. He was pretty good, but he was never the guy the Galactico level guy that they were hoping for.
Yeah, but Everton James was pretty good for at least 10 games.
Until Carlo left and he left with him. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think one of the either Inter or AC Milan or Atletico, kind of not like a top 8-6 club, but kind of the next step would be a good spot for him. Yeah, I guess Bellingham is obviously probably the young player of the tournament so far.
He's insane, dude. He doesn't have a weakness. I don't know what his weakness is. Big, he wins headers, he's box to box, he can play the attack, he can play defense, he passed the ball pretty well, great distributor. He assisted, I think, 2 goals on Sunday against Senegal. Obviously the one to Henderson, and then I think he assisted Saka's too. Or not the Saka, sorry, Foden's goal. So,
I think as being a part-time Dortmund fan who doesn't follow that much, I would argue that Jude's biggest weakness is potentially his attitude. But that's going to come with any big star.
pretty headstrong, dude. I've heard he's pretty mature for his age, though, I guess, from what I've been reading. But
I guess it's more just like a foul trouble type of thing. He's an aggressive player, so I don't know if you could equate that to his I don't know if you can always equate aggression to his attitude or anything like that. But he's definitely somebody who he'll say what he wants to say on the pitch, and he will attack. He will tackle people with some rigor, some aggression, and it gets him into foul trouble for sure. So, but yeah, I suppose on the field, apart from that, I don't really see a whole lot of weaknesses.
Would you take him over Musiala?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like Jude's more proven than Musiala.
He has a more well-rounded game, I think. I think Musiala is a very good attacker, probably better attacker than Jude is, but I think everything else that Jude provides, flexibility in the midfield, like that rock in the midfield who can do everything more or less.
Yeah.
It's so invaluable in this modern game. Like being able to like just run around, have the stamina, aggression, as you mentioned, Brandon, just the defensive acumen, making those runs, just starting leading attacks. Like just led England with Dyer for 30 minutes in that Senegal game. Senegal were taking it to them to start that game, and then just leads a rush, just sets up Henderson there. Henderson finished it, credit to him, but most of that was Jude. Like Jude set that all up. So,
yeah, it's huge. I mean, besides striker, box to box midfielder is probably the most like valuable position. So, I mean, how much do you think is he? Is he in like 9-digit category now? For
Easily.
you think like 200?
Might go for
or
150.
what are we thinking?
No, maybe 150 though, and that's still a lot. I mean, we were thinking
Yeah, I
100.
can see that.
I would say maybe pre-World Cup Griff 100 would have been reasonable. I think now like 130, 140, maybe even 150 would be what he could go for. It's considering the links that we're hearing recently of how Liverpool have jumped out to be the favorites to get him. With our current ownership situation, I'm not quite sure if that's going to work if FFC are still running the club come January, if we sign a pre-agreement, or if we wait until summer to get him. I don't really know. I know that there have been rumors that he wants to play in the Premier League. He doesn't want to join a sport washing club, so that maybe effectively rules out City and or PSG. Probably Madrid, probably Liverpool. United they're not gonna get him. No way he wants to go to United.
Spurs.
I think Liverpool are. Yeah, I think Liverpool are the odds-on favorites to get him. I'm just, as a Liverpool fan, I'm just always scared about those transfer rumors of guys this big. The last one of like this caliber I remember feeling was like the Van Dijk signing, where we were teased with Van Dijk for probably a year of signing him, and then we finally get him right before City were about to nab him. Really hope it doesn't happen this time where City get him before us if he decides to play for them. But man, what do you think? What do you guys think about other options for him, perhaps?
I think it's hard at this point with all of the teasing media and stuff with him and Hendo and Trent.
Too, yeah, all over the
It's
place.
hard to
Crazy.
see him going to other places, but you're right. Like our opinions are definitely biased to a level. But truly, it is kind of hard for me to see him going anywhere else at the moment. But
Really?
we know, yeah. Personally, I find it hard to see him going anywhere else if we have the money to sign him. But as Viggy and I know, that's very up in the air.
I think he wants to go to Liverpool. If he had a choice and the money wasn't in the question, I think he would want to come to Liverpool. I think it's a question of whether or not we actually pay up.
And finish top 4.
I don't even think top 4 matters anymore, dude. I mean, it does to an extent. I think less of that now though than I did like 3 weeks ago. I think just from maybe I'm just kind of drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, which is what we've seen. I mean, Hendo and him just like are inseparable throughout the tournament and stuff. Like Hendo's kind of a role model for him. It seems like just the way it looks at the moment. This is a little psychoanalyzing, so I'm not going to go too in depth into it. But I do think Liverpool should be the odds-on favorites at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
So why not like Bayern? He wants to go to the Premier League for sure.
I don't know why he'd want to go for Dortmund to Bayern. Like I think Dortmund's the perfect like kind of just stepping stone club for him. They're the perfect like stepping stone club in Europe. I feel like they run that system perfectly. Sancho, same thing with him. I think it's pretty similar to that, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I just know that you think of like good Dortmund players, you think of Bayern poaching them. So, but
honestly, I think that more recently, yeah, I really think more recently with those really top caliber guys, I think it's become less of the case. Like I feel like with some of those mid-tier guys, you see it more often, but with these guys that are like top signings in the world that are worth, like we were talking about, 9 digits, I don't see that as like the natural, especially with him being English, like Viggy's saying. I don't see that as the natural progression of him going to Bayern.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I mean, yeah, I would say, especially if he's ruled out like Man City because of the whole oil money. I mean, I think it's either Chelsea or Liverpool. And I mean, I'd rather go to Liverpool than Chelsea. So.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of another Liverpool guy, quick, we can just touch on for a moment. I think Morocco's defensive mid, Amrabat, I think he's the guy that Liverpool are actually targeting. There's been some prominent Dutch reporters have been reporting that Liverpool are definitely considering signing him. Potentially as a Fabinho replacement, he kind of plays that 6 role, just a defensive midfielder, big guy, win the aerial headers, just solid on the ball, aggressive, tackles, unlimited stamina. I think he's a really good player who really helped Morocco throughout these last 4 games in the World Cup. And I'm excited to see how he matches up against Portugal's midfield. I mean, you got Bernardo Silva, you got Bruno. We can preview that game a little later, but I think he can fetch a nice sum, probably 60-something million. A little cheaper than Gakpo and Jude, but I think he's a player worth mentioning as a breakout in this tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
Brief moment.
Is he would he be like a platoon for like him and Fabinho, or how does he slide?
Dude, I don't know how many more years Fabinho has in the tank, dude. He's had a bad year this year. Like domestically, he's not been good for us. Yeah, he's not been very good. I mean, we've run him into the ground, I think, the last 3 years. Like I understand it from like sheer just
he's getting up there, man. He's getting up there.
Is he even playing for Brazil?
He started against Cameroon. He's on a team.
Oh, he did.
He's a start for them though. Yeah.
Okay.
They got the best holding midfielder in the world, so I get it. Like Casemiro's there, they're not going to start Fabinho over Casemiro. So.
Yeah. Is Gonzalo Ramos? Does he jump into this list of impressive youngsters?
Yes. I think it was only 1 game. It only took 1 game, bro. But I think he deserves.
How many hat tricks are there at the World Cup? 1.
Not many. He deserves a shout, dude. He deserves a shout. I mean, he's a guy, like, I was reading a bit about him today when I was at work. I didn't know he was actually a big guy. He's actually like 6'1", 6'2". I thought he was like a shorter guy. He's like the same height as Ronaldo, everything. He's like 21 years old. Came through Benfica's academy, who, if we're going to talk about feeder clubs who like promote guys to big clubs, we should mention Benfica. They've done a damn good job of that lately with Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Joao Felix, maybe Bernardo. I don't remember.
Ederson,
Darwin Nunez. This guy's probably up next in that regard. So, I mean, props to them, man. They're making a killing out of that. And they're a good European team, too. They went to the quarters last year. I don't know who they beat, but they're a very good team. I don't know where he'd go. I haven't really read enough about what teams might be linked for him because he's, like, really new now on the scene.
It's obviously Wolves. They need a striker.
We needed Evan. We needed Evan on this podcast once we started talking about Wolves, bro. That's the bad signal for Evan to join this call. Maybe, dude. That would be funny as fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder who would go for him. But he's worth shouting, man. That was an incredible performance. Ronaldo on the bench is kind of funny. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of sad the way his career is going right now. It's the kind of the fall from grace. But I don't know, man. That guy, Cristiano Ronaldo always got the best
old, man.
him, so.
I mean, he's had a great career. You know, at a certain point, I think everyone kind of hits the wall. You know.
The thing though is that I wish we're not talking about this for long, but I wish that he could have maybe taken the Zlatan route and just like been like a rotation player on like a decent European side to end out his career instead of just doing this, just being a malcontent on like an established side, the side that he like made his career with to start, like with United, pushing his way out because he can't adapt to the rigors of modern football, doesn't press, he just wallows out there in the front, waiting for a chance to come his way. I don't know, dude. He's just a whiner to me. Like I'm just kind of sick of him at this current point. I respect everything he's done for the game, but currently just seeing him bench for Ramos and seeing what Ramos did on yesterday was pretty impressive. So, good to see what happens with that guy's career with Gonzalo Ramos. But
I'm excited to see him at Al Nassr. So,
yeah, you're gonna wake up at 3 a.m. to watch those matches, dude.
Saudi Pro League, yeah.
He's going to set a record, break the Saudi Pro League scoring record.
Al Nassr versus Al Khalid. I think we should.
You want to get through just like rapid fire? And we have like Dumfries and I think we mentioned Fernandez as well.
I mean, yeah, we've been talking about Fernandez for a bit. I think he'll go to a big club. I don't know where he'll go, but he's definitely a guy who many big clubs should target. Dumfries, he obviously, I mean, us Americans watch what he did to us on Saturday. Destroyed us. Dude, I don't know what he's a weird player, dude. He just runs up and down. He's not particularly skilled at anything, but he's just a really he has a lot of stamina, high work rate, good delivery of the ball. He's a tough, big, strong guy. I don't know, man. I think his price tag has gone up quite a bit. I know he's on Inter now. He just got signed by Inter.
I could see him moving to another club. Like athletic wingback. Like
That's depending on if Conte stays, though, Griff. That's depending on if Conte stays, though. No, he has a short shelf life with the clubs he plays, manages.
Yeah, we're still.
But you're right, though.
Fourth, or whatever we are.
He would fit this club, though. You're right. He fit that club very well. Another guy we could talk about quick is Gavardio, the Croatian center back. Talk about a defender here for once. I guess Dumfries is a defender, but a true center back.
One of the defenders of the tournament for sure.
Also, Spurs linked. Just want to throw that out there.
Dude, Chelsea fumbled the bag with him, bro. I'm pretty sure they were linked to they had a pre-agreement, I think, back in August, something. They ended up just not being able to get that through, and he ended up just kind of going back on the market as this open season on him. And I think this tournament's only raised his value. He might be a 6-figure guy too, 9-figure, I mean. So, he's great. I mean, I didn't think Lovren would start in this tournament for Croatia, but him and Gavardio back there is a pretty good duo, I would say, actually. So.
Probably my favorite Liverpool player of all time is Lovren.
He's quite the meme, yeah. Him and Mamadou Sakho are pretty meme worthy. But I think Kudus is worth shouting out to, dude. That guy was incredible for Ghana. It's a shame they didn't make it to the knockouts, but he's due for a big move too, I'm sure. I think he's only 22 or something. Ajax, another club that just develops young stars. So
yeah, it's probably Ajax, Benfica, and Dortmund. I think probably right now. Big feature.
Guys.
Last guy I mentioned is actually Tyler Adams too. I feel like he actually was probably the U.S.'s best player besides Pulisic. Yep. Thought he had a pretty good tournament. So, and I could see him moving from Leeds, but we'll see. But yeah, let's move on to the quarterfinal matchups. I think 4 honestly really good games. I'm pretty excited for all of them. So we got France versus England, Morocco versus Portugal, Netherlands versus Argentina, and Croatia versus Brazil. So how do you guys if you don't want to rank them from 1 to 4, your favorite kind of matchup down to your least favorite, and then if you have a winner for each, want to throw out a prediction as well.
Are we going most to least or least to most?
Yeah, whatever you want, man. It's our podcast.
I think least to most. Factual. I'd go Morocco, Portugal, probably the least interesting, but it's also they're all good matchups, as you said. That's the thing. It's hard to rank them as the fourth best isn't a bad matchup. It's a pretty good matchup. I think Croatia, Brazil would be 3 for me. Netherlands, Argentina would be 2, and then the last quarterfinal that we have Saturday afternoon. I think that game is a game that the whole world is looking forward to watching. England versus France. Feel like all 3 of us would probably have that as our number 1 game, but not 100% certain.
You don't speak for me. Yeah, no, it is. France versus England was my number 1. Actually, I have Morocco versus Portugal number 2. I just think Portugal. I love all the guys on Portugal. Really, I think they're just a really fun team to watch. And Morocco is actually I don't know, they actually have some real. They have some star power there with Hakimi and
they do.
Mazraoui.
Mazraoui,
yeah. Saiss, Amrabat. Yeah, it's they're actually good
Ziyech.
and they're Ziyech, yeah, of course.
Ziyech, Al-Nassiri, Buffon, yeah, they got a good team.
Yeah, and their fan base is probably the best of the World Cup, at least the best one remaining. So
I think it's the best besides the South American countries. I think those guys are crazy, but the Moroccans are also really good. They're also I think geographically it's easier for them a lot more to travel. So I feel like that might have a factor too.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I think they'll just be really fun, and I don't think they'll win again, but I think it should be a pretty close game. And then I have Croatia, Brazil, and I actually have Netherlands, Argentina last. I've seen a couple of the Dutch games, but they haven't really been that fun to watch for me.
I feel that they haven't had an underwhelming group stage. I mean, even though they had 7 points, they just didn't look very convincing. Even against Ecuador, they should have lost to Ecuador. I think Ecuador played better in that game. Who'd they play in the first game? Senegal. Yeah, that was kind of a slog until Gakpo scored the first header goal. But man, I think that matchup will be very interesting. Netherlands defense. They got 3 really good center backs versus Argentina's attack. Now that they got Alvarez going a little bit, I like them playing him at the 9 versus Lautaro. Lautaro's just kind of been a waste man this tournament, at least against he was a waste man against Australia. They could have just done that game away, but then he missed so many chances, and then Australia almost scored that tying goal at the very end. That would have been insane. Argentina is just a very well-rounded team. They started pressing a lot more, I noticed, upon just doing a little bit of analysis during the Poland game. The first 2 games, they were a little more passive. Obviously, they lost that shocker to Saudi Arabia. The 4 a.m. game, I still don't know how the hell they lost that game. But yeah, I mean, putting in
Same results as Germany.
Yeah, you can relate. 2014 World Cup finalists, man. They kind of had it not going well for them first game. But yeah, man, I think the midfield matchup will be interesting. We got De Jong in there. You got I'm forgetting. I mean, De Roon's like a defensive guy, but I think Koopman is just pretty good too. Um, Memphis and Gakpo up front against, I'm assuming, Romero, maybe Lissandro Martinez, maybe Otamendi, probably Otamendi. Like, it'll be an interesting matchup. I think Netherlands' big weakness is the goalkeeper, this random guy who just kind of got an opportunity and is now just starting for them. And I don't know. I don't know if
They've got
Lionel Messi's gonna.
Verge and Nathan Ake in front of him. I
Timber
mean,
too. They got Delict on the bench,
Timber
dude.
as
Like,
well. Yeah, they've got one of the most solid defenses.
got DeVries. They
I
got
think
DeVries and
Netherlands
Delict,
deserves
bro.
respect.
Saying, dude, they got DeVries and Delict just sitting on the bench for that team, and they play 3 center
Yeah.
backs anyway. It's nuts. Like, they're just so well stocked back there. I think their biggest weakness, I think, losing Genie Wijnaldum was actually kind of like an issue for them because now I like Davy Klaassen. He's like not a bad player, I think, but like not a guy who should be starting in like a quarterfinal of a World Cup matchup. I feel like. But,
Not at this point in his career. I think that's probably fair.
yeah,
Their
he's
midfield
a
definitely
geezer.
isn't amazing. But yeah, their defense is super good. Brandon, you want to give out your 4, and then we can maybe kind of delve into the matches and get some predictions.
Yeah. I mean, my least favorite matchup for the quarterfinals is definitely going to be the Portugal Morocco. I think Portugal is going to bring it to them, especially if they choose to leave Ronaldo on the bench. I think that that's going to be kind of Portugal's. I would argue that's going to be their key to success, and also their potential downfall, whether they choose to keep Ronaldo on the bench or not for the rest of this tournament. In terms of like the starting lineups. And then third, I would say is the Croatia Brazil game. I think Brazil is going to probably hand it to them. Although I mean, like Croatia's no pushover team. 2018 finalists. Still have a solid midfield for sure.
They have a lot of belief too, a lot of vets.
Yeah, no, a lot of experience for sure. And then definitely Netherlands, Argentina. Uh, I foresee Argentina beating them, but I think it's going to be a great game. I know, and I hope it's a close one. And then of course France, England as the marquee matchup for sure. Very glad that that's going to be the Saturday matchup.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Saturday afternoon too. Even
Yeah.
9 a.m. is not that early, but 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon.
That's
Hit the
perfect.
pub, watch the game. Watch the game at the English pub. That's gonna be fun, man. Really
And
fun.
truly, I think it's going to be interesting to see England's defense be tested. England has not been tested at all. And I mean, they have one of the best goal differentials. I think they have the best goal differential out of all the sides remaining. They only conceded 2 goals, and they conceded them to Iran on the first match day. So it's going to be interesting to see how they live up to Kylian Mbappe and obviously company, the rest of France.
So is he going to be matched up against Walker?
Kylian?
Yeah.
Is Walker the starting,
I thought he
or is
started.
Trippier
the
been
thing, dude.
starting? Have they been changing it around?
I thought Walker was playing
Walker's-
against Senegal. I mean, wouldn't
think
you
he
rather
did.
have Walker against him than Trippier?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think Walker's more strong defensively than Trent and Trippier.
Yeah.
The thing though, I think we can maybe segue into a little bit of tactical discussion with this game that is all of our number one most look forward to game. I think I did see a report today, I don't know how substantiated of a rumor this is, that I think England is considering playing somebody equally as aggressive and like offense oriented on the same side as Mbappe in the game to kind of like try to counteract and mitigate his offensive presence like in their end. And I don't know who that would be. It could be Saka potentially starting out there because Saka has played defensively in the past. He's a very versatile player, shown what he can do on the big stage. I think he has 3 goals already in the World Cup.
He deserves to be mentioned in our previous segment for sure.
I think he does. The thing with him though is that I don't know if he'll move I don't know if he'll move clubs though. I think he's just kind of set in stone with Arsenal for now. The thing though that I'm interested about is seeing, just reading a little bit, that Southgate likes to tweak his formation come knockout rounds as opposed to the group stage. And in the past, he's played a 3-5-2 before, or or maybe a 5-3-2, however you define it, with the two wing backs. In this case, that could be Luke Shaw playing on the left, and I doubt Trent will start. I don't think he would just start him cold turkey against fucking France. But I mean, I think Walker would make more sense. But Walker did play at the right side of a three center back pairing in the 2018 World Cup, and that was when Walker was at like his peak hours, where he was just like, I don't think Walker's nearly as good as he was 4 years ago. That's the thing. I don't know if
He's the
got
oldest
the
guy in that
ability.
squad. He's the oldest on
Is he
England.
now?
Yeah.
He's
Even older than
by
Henderson?
a few months, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just like, I wonder if he can keep up with Mbappe for 90 full minutes. And if not, I mean, they could always sub on somebody. I mean, I just don't know if Trippier's that guy out there in that setup. I mean, you would picture in that formation, they'd probably play. Obviously, International Maguire is a different beast. He's going to start. His name is etched in stone in the first 11. Stones has been decent. They're not going to switch up the center back pairings. I wonder if they'll play Walker in the back three if they do switch to that formation type. Maybe play Trippier or Walker, and then they'll keep Rice, Bellingham, Henderson. Keep that three. I think Henderson's earned his starting spot for the next game, just with how well they've kind of matched together that midfield. Then from there, it's about whether you play two or three attackers, I guess. I mean, it's a shame that Sterling had to leave the World Cup because his house got broken into, I think, back in London. I think that's why he had to leave.
He might be back for the France game, though. I think I just read
Said that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. They have so much attacking depth. I mean, England has Rashford, Foden, Saka, Grealish, yeah, a lot of guys. So really, really fascinating, man. I'm excited that they added 5 subs for this World Cup just to see more room for flexibility with your lineups and who you bring in and when. So
I would love to see England win that one. Nothing would please me more than France getting knocked out of this World Cup.
Really? I'm rooting against them.
Before the final, don't get me wrong. My final prediction is Brazil versus France, and that would be an incredible final. That would be the premier final. That would be like just that would probably be the best World Cup final in God knows how long. To me, but still, I think with France just being that team that they're it's just expected of them, and I kind of like the underdog story a little bit more. And
England's
I don't know.
England's stacked,
Go ahead, Griff.
man. I mean, like
I think
they
England,
are the underdog, but like they're just like obviously two very, very talented teams. I mean, like I did my power rankings and I had England like
we should discuss those. Yeah, I want to.
I had them fourth, I guess, which is probably a little bit cruel, but I think they're like right behind France. You probably make an argument that they're like more talented than France in some areas at least. So
I've got England at 4 as well.
This is a quick question I want to pose to you two. I had this kind of debate with a couple buddies a day or two ago. This is just not a very like for like comparison, but they do both play right wing if they do start. Would you take in their current form Bukayo Saka or Ousmane Dembele? Because I think we need to talk about Dembele and how good he's been this calendar year for Barca and for France. And I think I would take Dembele honestly over Saka still.
I was just going to say that Luke Shaw is going to have a hell of a time if he does get to start against Ousmane Dembele. That's going to be a tough one-on-one matchup for sure. Yeah, I think I would take Dembele. I think that dribbling excellence kind of outweighs. I think Saka probably he's the better shooter of the ball, but distributor and just all-around skills on the ball. I think Dembele's got it. He's a little clear.
Yeah, that's the thing with France, dude. I mean, everyone talks about Mbappe, and I mean now Dembele just because he's kind of been really good this World Cup. But Griezmann's like just laying there, like lurking in like kind of like that back, like really second striker role, kind of a cam role. Like he's just kind of there lurking, dude, just setting people up. Like he's not getting all the glory like he did in 2018, where he scored a ton of goals. Giroud, Mbappe, and mostly those two are there, but. Yeah, man, I don't know how England's going to contend against France's attack. I mean, obviously they're a very strong defensive core. England has a good core defensively, internationally, of course. But that's what I'm saying, man. There's so many ways to pick this matchup. Like the midfield battle. I mean, I think England's going to win the midfield battle. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who does France have in midfield currently? They've been starting Rabiot, but they've been starting him next to Chouameni and Rabiot.
Yeah, Chouameni's been starting, and I guess is
Yeah.
Grayson playing like a false 9, or is he playing like Cam?
Playing like a Cam, I think, because they're kind of running a 4-2-3-1 type of thing. But I think Griezmann has a lot of room to drift. Like he's not strictly just beholden to the Cam. Like he kind of like lurks there, like kind of.
He definitely needs to have like a really good game, I think, for them to do well, because he seems like he's kind of like their creative kind of outlet that kind of springboards everyone else. Him and Giroud seem to have like a really good understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be just a lot of really good matchups. I think I like the idea of them going to like England going like a 3-5, 2-1 or whatever, having like maybe like Saka and then Walker as like the right back, and then like maybe doubling Mbappe like on the left wing there. But
I would think about that. That guy is. Brandon and I were talking a bit about Golden Boot probability. I think he's got to be the odds-on Golden Boot guy right now. He already has 5. Everyone else has 3.
Easily the odds-on favorite.
He's like double everyone else in terms of odds.
Saying, dude, like that guy doesn't. He needs like 2 seconds to just get a shot out from like the side, just ping it into like the top corner. He's different, man. He's different. He already has 9 World Cup goals at the age of 23. And Klose had 15, 16. He's already more than halfway there.
Doesn't Ronaldo only have 8?
He already passed him. Ronaldo and Messi, Griff, had 0 knockout stage goals combined.
Before Messi's
scored.
Goal.
Wow.
Yeah, the other day.
Wow.
Alcantara Ramos has 3. It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a great game. Croatia, Brazil, tactically, I don't know. I just think Brazil's going to win. I don't think it'll be as straightforward as I even think it'll be, but Croatia's a tough team, great midfield. But
I think Croatia's going to put up a pretty good fight. I was saying to Brandon, I think they just like they know like they can do it. Right, they got to the finals last year. They have like a veteran team, like, and I think they have a good midfield, which I think is like huge, obviously. And they have like a great leader, Modric, and Perisic always seems to like find the net somehow in like international play. So I definitely see them like sneaking in a goal, but it is hard to like look past like the talent disparity there, especially with like I feel like I actually didn't see that South Korea game, but I heard that their first half was just like blew them away kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, Richarlison, dude.
I think depending on the results of the games and stuff like that, Richarlison, I would put him up there as second favorite for the Golden Boot. And I think a lot of that also has to play into the fact that he's playing for Brazil, who are the favorites to get to the final on that side of the bracket.
Right. Like, lasting the longest. Longevity plays a huge role in that, which is why Mbappe should be the favorite still. Probably will win it. But
Richarlison surprised me, though. I wasn't expecting these type of performances out of him. I was even kind of shocked that he got the call-up over Gabriel Jesus. Or no, Gabriel Jesus still got the call-up?
I think he's still on the team.
Dude.
Just
Firmino was the guy who I was thinking maybe he'd make the team just because Firmino has had a better season this year, but had a pretty shit like early 2022. But seeing how Richarlison's playing now, there's no way he would have deserved a spot over him. I don't know who he would have made it over. Brazil has too many great attackers. It's just tough. But man, he's really showed out. Spurs aren't even going to start him probably once Kulusevski's healthy. You can speak to that, Griff. I don't really know how Richarlison fits in that.
Yeah, that's weird. They've both been out. Besides, actually, Kane hasn't even been that great. Those two have been their best players, Kulusevski and Richarlison. I don't know. Honestly, they've both been better than Son by a decent amount. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah.
Man, I think we've talked about most of the matchups though. Do we want to delve into the full power rankings then? What are we feeling?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you wanna do yours first?
Man, I didn't really write this out. I'm kind of going to go off the dome here real quick. Think about my teams 8-1. I think eight should be honestly Croatia. I think Croatia's my 8. I think Morocco has a better chance of beating Portugal than Croatia does beating Brazil. Morocco, they did win their group, same group as Croatia. They did draw 0-0 when they played each other. I don't know with Croatia, with just the attacking variety they have. Kramaric is fine. Perisic, obviously, as you mentioned, is a knockout merchant. He does really well in international tournaments. But I think Morocco have that resolute. They're just a more resolute team right now, I think. Croatia obviously showed resilience coming back against Japan, standing them in pens, even though I think, in my opinion, more of that was due to Japan just being terrible at pens. And Croatia's striker missed that pen where he hit the post. That was a disgusting penalty. But with that, putting that aside, I think Croatia's my 8th team. I'd have Morocco at 7.
Yeah.
6. It's between Netherlands and Portugal for me. I'm gonna have to go with the Dutch. I think Portugal now, what they showed us on yesterday against Switzerland, I think they just unlocked a new version of themselves. I will say it's not a coincidence not starting Ronaldo. It makes a big difference. Like having a team that can just kind of press in unison and just play just a free flowing attack, not feeling that pressure of having to feed the demigod who's represented your nation for all these years. I think Ronaldo in his current form isn't the best answer for that team. So for virtue of that, and with Netherlands not being very convincing so far yet, I think Portugal will be my 5th team over Netherlands. 4, you guys both said England for 4. Yeah, they're probably my 4 too. I mean, I was thinking between them and Argentina, but I don't know. Argentina looks a lot better now that they got their shit figured out and their team figured out with who they want to start and stuff. I have Argentina at 3. France at 2. And then Brazil at 1. That's my top 8. So, wonder how much variety we'll have.
Yeah, I had kind of some. I think I had Croatia at 8 and Morocco at 7, just because I think Morocco's had much better. I mean, they probably like the best defense in the tournament. I think, right? I mean, they've only given up 1 own goal, so they've been.
Oh yeah, it was an own goal. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, and we talked about it, they have like some legit players. So I think Croatia's 8, Morocco's 7. I think it's a pretty big like drop off like for 7 and 8. I have the Dutch at 6 as well, just because they have some questions in their midfield and their goalkeeper, like you mentioned. I actually had Argentina at 5.
Oh.
Yeah, are they starting Otamendi?
I wonder.
He started on Monday. I'm pretty sure he started on Monday. I mean, I saw him out there on the pitch.
Yeah. I wonder. I mean, Lisandro Martinez is there too. I mean, the thing is with like Depay and Gakpo, Depay's like a little smaller guy, but Gakpo's a big dude. I don't know whether they'll stick with shorter center back. I don't even know if that's a factor in this selection or not. Maybe they run a back 3. I don't really know what Argentina does with that, to be honest. But I don't know, man. I think just with that talent that they have with the attacking talent, Di Maria coming back healthy will be pretty big for them. I think he's supposed to play on Friday. But
yeah, I like Di Maria. I just Martinez has not been great in international play, and I still think Alvarez is like, I think he's a good player, but he's still like a little bit unproven. I had England at 4. I just think they have like more raw talent.
Got Portugal over England. Wow.
I do. Yeah, I'm kind of a Portugal. I'm all aboard Team Portugal right now. I saw the entire game. I'm probably drinking too much of the Kool-Aid of them beating like the Swiss that bad, because the Swiss looked awful. But
Griff, we're gonna talk about Portuguese young guys. I gotta mention Rafael Leao, man. I love that guy.
He doesn't even start.
Cold.
He doesn't even start.
This guy, he's the only guy that can just have the biggest grin on his face, and he's just hitting a banger. I love how this guy smiles when he shots. That's hilarious.
He's electric. Yeah. He's electric. I think he'll be their best player in 4 years, honestly. I think he'll be their best player in 4 years. But anyway.
He's a monster.
2, I assume, this will be tough, actually. I don't know who you're going to go with for 2, Griff.
Well, I have, Portugal at 3, France at 2, and Brazil at 1.
Okay.
I think, I mean, not really that controversial. I think Brazil and France are probably, I think on paper, the 2 best teams. They just have the most star power. But yeah, I just love Portugal. They have like some, they got Cancelo and Diaz in the back too. Like Silva. They have, I mean, Jota. Is Jota even in the tournament? I don't think he is.
Got hurt. To be fair, dude, Dallo started instead of Cancelo though last game. Dallo's been pretty good this year. He's been pretty good this year.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. I think they just have a lot of really good players. But I'm probably overranking them a little bit too much off the back of that performance. But
they look great,
really
dude.
Like their team. And then like Carvalho, I think their defensive mid.
35 pace on FIFA.
Yeah, dude.
That
He's
Carvalho,
a beast, man. He's sick. Yeah,
he's pretty. He's
really
nice.
like their team. But yeah,
and Bernardo, dude, Raul Felix. They got a lot of good.
Felix.
Really good.
Guerrero had a really good game. their other left, their
Yeah.
other fullback.
Yeah, dude. Imagine them with Nuno Mendes. Imagine if he didn't get hurt.
I know. Yeah, I know. They're just super stacked.
Bruno's probably their best player, honestly. Like
Yeah,
we kind of like forget to talk about him.
Didn't even
I just don't
mention
like
Bruno.
Bruno, but
Yeah, they're.
just don't like him. But like he's probably their best player. So
Is this like Portugal's golden generation? Because I feel like this is like the best Portuguese team. Like,
Gotta be.
I mean, it's like kind of ridiculous that you have like Leao's not even
they're
starting.
young talent. They have a lot of young guys that are really, really good. Yeah. What about you, Brandon? What's your power ranking looking like?
I chose Morocco for 8th. You guys are right. They had a good group stage. Definitely deserve the respect for that. I've got Croatia at 7. I think that they still just with the experience. I think that they personally. I think that they should just be above Morocco based on that experience as well.
Okay.
I've got Argentina at 6. I
Let's
think that these guys
go.
have had the least convincing results. I mean, they had arguably they had the easiest round of 16 matchup, and I mean they won 2-1. They got scored on by Australia. I mean, they lost to Saudi Arabia. I'm not convinced by Argentina right now. My prediction is them in the 3rd place game. Well, honestly, my original prediction when it got to the bracket, when it got to the knockout stages, was that Argentina would go to the 3rd place game. But I think that if we're talking about favorites and upsets, I think this is the most likely upset of the quarterfinals is Netherlands beating Argentina.
Yeah,
I agree.
They match up well with Argentina. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
it's an upset. Honestly, it'd be an upset, but it wouldn't be like a huge like Morocco Portugal-esque upset either. But yeah.
I got Netherlands at 5, England at 4, Portugal at 3.
And
I like you guys
y'all
said
drinking the
Portugal
Kool-Aid.
I don't Portugal is crazy, and I was just talking to Griff. I don't know if you were. I think you were still on the call. I was saying I think that their success in this tournament is going to be based upon what they choose to do with CR7 in terms of the starting lineup. Because I think that when he does start and he's playing the majority of the game, 70 plus minutes, I think that there's just this additional pressure on the rest of the players on the field that just isn't there when he's not on the pitch. And I think that they're a more cohesive team. Yeah, and then he's an impact player off the bench. Arguably, that's just the stage he's at in his career. So I don't know. Portugal have a chance. I think that they have a great chance. I think obviously they'll win the Morocco matchup, but I think that they most likely against France in the semis. That'll be a good match. But right now, I still think that we're gonna have a GOAT match for 3rd place. 3rd place match is gonna be the GOAT match. And it's sad because I'm sure neither of them is gonna give a fuck.
No.
Oh.
No. You don't get it.
Oh, and then I have Brazil.
So
Brazil at 2. Brazil at 2. France at 1.
Okay. I thought Griff was gonna come with that. I thought Griff was gonna come with the Brazil 2, France 1. But I like it.
Yeah.
So why France over Brazil?
Killian. I don't know. This guy's insane. I hate to put him up there like that, but like he is a difference maker, and I don't think that we've seen that type of difference maker from Brazil. Richarlison's been cool. Obviously, Neymar had the woes. He's back and healthy now, right?
Yeah, you should play.
I mean, dude, don't sleep on Vinny, bro. Don't sleep on Vinny, man.
No, for sure. But you've got Vinny, you've got Dembele. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like these who is comparing to Mbappe? I don't know. I don't think there's anybody on the Brazil side that compares to Mbappe like that.
Thing for me, Brandon, is like I don't know if I trust France's defense like that. I don't like Upamecano honestly that much. I don't think he's like honestly. I think Saliba should be starting. I think Saliba and putting bias aside here, I promise. I think Konate should be starting for them over Varane. Varane's a seasoned veteran who's obviously won a World Cup with them. He's like very good, but he's also just I don't know if I can trust him to play 3 straight matches now, fully healthy. Maybe he will. Probably will get the start if he's healthy, but I don't know. I think Lloris is also unconvincing. National team Lloris is a little different, but I don't know. Griff knows I'm not the biggest Lloris fan, but
Jules Koundé on the squad?
Yeah, he's.
Is
I think he played.
should be starting over
fullback?
Pavard. He should be starting over Pavard, dude. I don't like Pavard
At right
either.
back?
I thought.
Yeah.
I thought. Wasn't he playing fullback? The round of 16 matchup.
I'm not sure, Griff, but he should at least sub on at right back if he doesn't start. Because I think he's better at right back than Pavard would be. I don't think Pavard's actually that good of a defender to play for France.
I think he did. I think he was a right back because Varane and Upamecano were playing, so I'm pretty sure he was already playing right back.
Lucas Hernandez's career might be over. That's pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys heard about that after his ACL injury. Like it was that severe. Yeah.
Wow.
The rumors it might be that severe. But his brother's obviously deputizing for him, but pretty damn good too. But yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I think with Brazil over France for me, I think their midfield is better and their defense is about the same. I think I like Brazil's midfield a little better. But I agree, Kylian is definitely like kind of a different level right now.
Ridiculous.
The thing is, in a prospective Brazil-France final, guys,
I saw a Brazil position matchup. I don't know if that should be factored into my power rankings, but I still feel like Brazil they're gonna win. That's still my prediction for the winner.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I think Brazil's weakest point is right back, and that's gonna be Mbappe's side. If they were to face each other, I don't know what they're gonna do to mitigate that. That's the thing you got to consider. Danilo. Or they might play, or they play Militao at right back. That would actually be okay. Militao's pretty fast. He's a big, fast guy who plays center back. But obviously with Thiago Silva and Marquinhos, he wouldn't really play many minutes at center back for this team. Should probably start him in that matchup if they get that far. But yeah, I think that's about right, dude. I mean, we had pretty similar. I'm lower on Portugal. You guys are lower on Argentina. Things besides that, though, pretty similar. So
yeah, pretty chalk. What all right, well, let's get into the predictions. We kind of hinted at them already. So I think Brazil's playing, let's see, Croatia. I think we're all taking Brazil in that one.
3-0.
I think 2-1. 2-1. It'll be KG, but I think they'll get the job done. Yeah.
I could 2-1 sounds right. I honestly I could see going into like extra time, like Croatia just like really slowing things down.
That'd be the recipe. Yeah. Won every single match in 2018 in extra time, so they're used to it.
Yeah, I could see it. Netherlands, Argentina. I actually had the Dutch winning that one. I think
it's going to pens, dude. I think it's going to pens.
Oh boy.
Addison's gonna miss a pen, dude. This fucking journeyman goalkeeper, 38-year-old guy's gonna save a pen from Messi, and everyone's gonna bring that guy down, and I can't wait for that. It's gonna be funny as fuck. Even though I prefer Messi to Ronaldo personally, I think it'd be funny as fuck if that happened. I would just laugh my ass off if that happened. But yeah, I think Argentina will pull it off, but I could easily see the Dutch if they get that far winning it. That's the game I could easily see the upset in, like the easiest out of any of them, even England, France, in my opinion.
Yeah. We did a knockout bracket at work. And I've got Argentina winning that matchup. But like I said, after that first round of 16 matchup, I'm just not sold on Argentina. And I could really see Netherlands getting that upset.
Morocco, Portugal. Anyone brave enough to take Morocco?
No, I think I am. And
really?
It's going to depend. I think out of even more than Netherlands, Argentina, I think that's likelier to go to pens, in my opinion. I think Morocco's defense, we just talked about how they've only given up an own goal all tournament. I think they have ability. I know they haven't faced a beast like Portugal just yet. Spain is not Portugal the way they play. But with that being said, I just could see Morocco holding on. It might not be 0-0. I don't know if they can score a goal. I think they can easily score a goal, honestly. I don't know if Pepe's pretty good, actually, but for how old he is. But I don't know. I could see them getting a goal, like making one, and then Portugal getting one, and then Morocco holding on. I'll predict 1-1, goes to pens. Morocco somehow wins in pens. I'm going to flip the trend a little bit here.
Yeah, I feel like that's the game where, like, the longer it goes on, like, while they're tied, Morocco just gets like stronger and stronger. But if like Portugal scores like an early goal, it could get pretty rough.
Agreed.
2-0. 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
For what it's worth.
I think 1-0 Portugal. That'd be my guess. I think Portugal scores like a late goal. France, England.
The biggest barn burner of them all. So,
Wait, are we discussing England France right now?
Yeah, England, France.
like score prediction. Just prediction, yeah.
France. I think this one has the potential for France to potentially open the floodgates.
I think 3-1. 3-1 or 4-2. I think somehow they might give up 2.
England is scoring a goal, if not 2 goals. I'm gonna go like 4-2. I hope this is a high scoring game. I hope it is.
Yeah.
I could also seeing it be like, I could see it being 1-0 too, though. But anyway, go on, Griff.
Knockout stages are so unpredictable.
Yeah,
cagey, so cagey.
I think it's gonna be 2-2, and then France wins in penalties.
Damn, that would be next level scenes, dude. Wow.
I think England will be up like 2-1, and then France are gonna score a late goal. I think England like chokes it. That's my guess.
Sounds about right.
But I do like unabashedly hate England, so a little biased there.
I think England fans are the most annoying fan base by far in international soccer, personally.
Well, the U.S. is pretty bad too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Out of like big clubs, like big countries. I mean, like out of big countries. I don't count U.S. in that same bracket, but yeah,
for sure.
True.
The U.S. are just annoying because they're so uninformed.
Dude, Griff, you should name this. Griff, you should name this episode. It's called Soccer. I think that'd be nice.
No, dude, there's been like those like Lay's commercial where it's like Beckham and like Peyton Manning.
And it's like, football.
Yeah,
it's football.
So annoying.
These are crisps, and it's football.
It's so cringe. It's not even funny. It's like why Peyton Manning? Like I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like seeing his big ass forehead on the screen all the time.
Hey man, stop judging his forehead like that, bro.
No, I should be the one to talk.
Damn, I didn't mean it like that.
So I believe it'd be Brazil versus the Dutch.
Gotta be the Dutch or Argentina,
bro. Brazil, Argentina, bro. Oh yeah, true. If you pick Netherlands, yeah, true. Sorry.
So yeah, I guess like who plays in the finals? Who plays in the finals and who wins?
Brazil, France. Brazil wins.
I'm the same.
I got Brazil, Portugal, and Portugal winning. I'm
fully
on board. I am fully on board.
I love that. I truly think that Portugal have the chance to upset France in the semis. I think that's
it's gonna be like the colonialism angle too. It's gonna be a lot of tension.
That'll be really cool. I would look forward to that matchup for that purpose. That would be very fun.
It'd be pretty
storyline.
But I also think, like you said, they could just lose to Morocco. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that'd
never
be
know.
Fun. I think the finals are gonna be like there's just and I think besides Morocco and Croatia, like if any of those like top 6 teams played in the final, I think it'd be like a good matchup. And then if it's like Brazil, France, or something like that, it'd be just phenomenal. So
yeah, I mean it's setting up well. I would say definitely. Then again, we thought the same. I think in 2018, and then Croatia made it to the final. Thought we might get England, France. We thought we might get.
But
actually no, it would have been England. England had the
right
easiest
side. He was so weak. Like once like Spain got knocked out, and like Spain were.
So you're right.
Like,
it was
that
just
great.
Yeah. It was just England. Yeah, it was England,
and then Croatia, and I don't know. England
Russia.
Just bottle it at the end. Yeah, but Russia's.
Yeah, like Russia, Sweden, England, Denmark, or not Denmark, Croatia. Yeah, so easy.
Bad. Not good.
But,
all right. Well, I think it's a good place to end on this World Cup. I think we'll try to end it on something fun like we do, or we'll try to do for most pods. But all 3 of us, I'd say, are pretty big enjoyers of FIFA. So we just have your favorite FIFA game, favorite like broken players that you have fond memories of, and even soundtracks. Because FIFA is probably I don't know how big we were talking about. I think FIFA's like soundtrack's probably the best out of any like EA game. So
by far, by a country mile.
Of any games potentially.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be up there.
Go ahead, Brandon. What do you got?
I mean, my favorite FIFA is. I didn't start playing FIFA until FIFA 13. So consistently since then, and I would say it's a toss-up for me between FIFA 15 and FIFA 21. I've just got some fond memories myself of FIFA 21, but I think a lot of people have fond memories of FIFA 15. Obviously, I'm a big Ultimate Team guy, so how that game mode played in those two FIFAs, I think was just something special. I mean, like I just had personal, very good experiences with both of those games.
Absolutely.
If you want me to mention some players that were broken, I mean FIFA 15,
So many.
they had that front three, Barbo.
Yeah, I was
Roma,
gonna bring
bro.
that up, dude. The
Roma.
Roma front
Yeah,
three: Gervinho, Abarbo, and
yeah,
what was the last
Dumbia.
one?
uh,
Doumbia. Yeah, of
Doumbia,
course.
Dude, Seydou
Yeah.
Seydou
Doumbia.
Doumbia.
God, that
Yeah,
was
dude.
so fun. They were like a
Facts,
4.5
facts.
rated too, but they had that front three was crazy. They had like 95
Serie
pace.
A teams are crazy, bro. Serie A teams are crazy back then.
Yeah.
Crazy. I had my boy Jefferson Farfan. I remember those days. That was
Oh
always
yeah,
fun.
you'd be like, you score a goal with him, and you say it'd be getting farfanned. That was always an iconic moment. You literally like you pass the ball to him every single possession, and then you just like try to dribble around and score from. Feed
I thought
Farfan, feed him.
that was the sweatiest FIFA. That's the sweatiest FIFA I can remember. I think.
Yeah, well,
I
pace
mean,
was so broken in
they
that game.
they nerfed the fuck out of it in 16, and 17
Yeah,
was pretty good. But
yeah.
anyway, I guess segueing into that, my favorite FIFAs. I mean, I'm with you, Brandon. 15 is a classic. Um, that game is just such a fun. I mean, if I had 15 on my PS now, I would be playing that shit. But I'd still be playing it every now and then. But other than that, 17 was pretty good. I thought the one with Royce on the cover. I thought that was a fun game. Griffin and I had fond memories playing that in our dorm. Game. 21 was good, dude. I like 21 too. 21 was nice. I don't know which one that was. I don't know if that was the Mbappe one, the first one, or if that was like a Messi one,
I
maybe.
think it was
I
It
don't
Mbappe.
wasn't
remember.
Mbappe. I think it was Mbappe's second. Mbappe started on 20,
Oh wow, he's been on it for three
honestly.
years
I
now,
think
or
so.
2 years.
I
Wow,
think so.
that's crazy.
Wasn't it Hazard on 20?
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
Hazard was on
dude.
20.
Because I think it was
Weird.
Ronaldo for like 3 seasons.
So low point
Oh
for
God,
FIFA.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mbappe started in 21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CR7 with 19 and 18.
yeah.
Cracked players for me personally, besides the ones we just named. I have to think. I mean, it's going to be a lot of pace horrors for the most part. I mean, that's just kind of how FIFA has operated when it comes to like the sweatiest players. It's all just people who can just run supremely fast. Um, I think Vinicius is currently one of those guys who's just a sweat monster. I mean, I'd say Leroy Sané honestly is pretty sweaty in this game in some of these more recent games. Maybe earlier on, maybe Man City Sané. I'd say Man City
No,
Sané is
no,
pretty.
no. See, the problem with Sane is that he has a 2-star weak foot.
Ooh, okay. That's a good point. I'm counting just sweat though. I'm talking about just pure sweat.
He's
Like
sweaty, yeah, for
disregarding
sure.
disregarding like the weak foot stuff. I mean, Neymar is a default answer. I mean, he's just got what has he got? 5-star weak foot, 4-star weak foot, something like that.
He's
It's
one of
pretty
the
good.
magical 5-star 5 stars.
Isn't Sancho 5-star weak foot too?
No, he's 5-star skills.
No.
3-star
Oh,
weak foot.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you're mentioning these type of guys that are meta now, you have to put Mbappe in there because he's the best base card in the game.
Yeah,
But your
that's pretty
personal
undoubtable.
favorites, come on, man, throw out a Joe Gomez or something, man.
Dude, Joe Gomez is crazy on that game. I can't even trip. Who else? Emerick Laporte on the early FIFAs was really nice. Fast center back. He was fun to play with. I think it was when he was on Bilbao. I had one La Liga team in one of those FIFAs. Like he was a really good center back to get. I think, dude, I had Koundé for Sevilla like early on, like back in like 18 or something or 19. He was really good. Like he's just a good player card. Yeah, dude, Joe Gomez, he's cracked. I mean, like 82 pace, whatever the heck he has. Sick. Hakimi's got to be up there. How fast he is. Um, well, that's a good amount of names for now. What are your thoughts, Chris? What are your favorite FIFA
I mean, yeah,
names,
15 is pretty
players?
iconic. My first one was like I got into FIFA over like FIFA World Cup for 2014. Um, I think Addison convinced me to buy it because we like that's all we played for the entire summer. Um, that got me into it. Then yeah, 15 was just super fun. Obviously, yeah, like Roma's front line was incredible. I actually really like FIFA 16. Like I was probably like when I was best at FIFA because I'm a pretty defensive player, but um, I
True.
really liked FIFA 21 as well. Probably my favorite like modern FIFA. In terms of like cult players, I think like Rodrigo has to go up there. Back when he was on Valencia, he was like a tall, like
Oh,
fast center
true.
back who could like. I mean, you guys know me. I just like crossed everything in, so he would just like get those
Yes.
headers and hit them in. It was pretty awesome. Um, Actually, you know who was cracked too, and in 21 was uh Big O Victor Osminen, or I forget how to say his last
Oh, was the
name.
man? Oh, he's
Yeah,
Dude,
nuts.
he
Victor
was
He's
Osimhen.
so
nuts.
good. He was so good in 21. I got him in like my career mode too, and he just like, yeah, he was pretty insane. Um, but like FIFA 16, my favorite like team was like I had this like like all Turkish league team, and it was like all these like old like Premier League cast offs. Like it was like Van Persie and like like Vincent like Abu
Dang.
Bakar and like
Let's go.
Yilmaz and stuff. Who like I think like recently like led the Liga and like goals. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
Leo won the world. League won the league with him. Yeah, or Leo won the league
yeah,
with him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Those are really fun teams. Ultimate Team was fun because I like making like just like the Premier League teams are always too expensive for me, so I always did like yeah like the French league or like Portuguese league teams, and those are always fun to compete with. So
Griff, I got to shout out real quick. Co-op mode days. Atletico Madrid.
Belgium
Had a couple
too.
dudes. Johnny Carrasco, he was pretty filthy. I like enjoyed making runs with him.
Their back
Um,
line though, man, they Miranda and Godin,
yeah.
huge.
And Jimenez later on too. He was really good too.
Yeah,
Um,
Savage.
Thinking of midfielders, dude. Gabi's a favorite of mine, dude. I don't even care what anyone has to
50
say.
pace Gabi.
El Capitan, dude. El Capitan de Atletico Madrid, bro. Saying
Biggie, you
special.
know what was great about those Atletico teams though was that I don't know who their goalkeeper was at the time, but like Oblak was like the third string keeper on that team, and we put him in like every single game because he was
Yeah,
amazing. We
dude.
called him like Superion, and we would you would always go like on those long dribbles with him.
Dude, I remember being in Spanish class senior year. We'd be like drawing up formations for how we want to play co-op with Atletico Madrid when we go home later that day. We were like super duper into that shit with that team, man. Like they were like probably one of the worst 5-star teams if they even were a 5-star then. It was just
I think yeah,
very fun though.
yeah. They
Very
had
fun days,
Griezmann
dude. That
and
was Torres,
oh god, yeah, Jesus.
Ando Torres, bro. Fucking geezer days right there, geezer hours. Yeah, bro. Really fun times. We've all had great times. I mean, FIFA's like kind of shaped like a lot of our like just us gaming on FIFA for so many years.
Yeah,
It shaped our childhoods, man. That shit was special, you know.
yeah.
Liz, our brain is grinding on FUT nowadays. And pro clubs, we be
Just
grinding on
before
pro clubs
this.
every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think unironically
Contract?
FIFA got me into soccer though. I don't know about you guys, but
Listen,
Definitely did.
I happened upon a KSI video in like 2013, and I was like, I gotta get this game. I've played FIFA before, and then yeah, that just naturally transitioned into me getting on the pitch and trying it out, which naturally transitioned into me wanting to pick a favorite team and started watching. So yeah, FIFA, but I guess ultimately KSI
yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
KSI. That's funny.
Any soundtrack shouts or no?
Oh man, I mean, have you guys? It's so hard to choose one FIFA for a soundtrack because they've all got such
Dude, the
good
World Cup one
songs
was
from every year.
fire.
They did the whole. They came out with the like.
It's the greatest hits of like all the old FIFA
Yeah,
scripts.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When we played at my place, like they have all the old hits, like the Nights by Avicii. They got like John Newman, Love Me Again. They got like all of these hit songs. Like
They got like
that
Kids
one.
by MGMT from like
Oh,
2006.
Yep.
nice.
They got the Peter Bjorn and John song. They got
Young
another
folks,
song.
yeah.
Do
Got the
they
Small Pools song.
is
That's
there like
pretty
a
good
FIFA
too.
like soundtrack on like Spotify I could like pull up?
Yes. Look it up. Look it up. They
Okay.
have the one where it's the greatest hits or whatever, or something like that. They might even be including more stuff on there.
Is it like FIFA
But
like greatest hits or something?
I would just search up FIFA
Just go
soundtrack,
go
and it's
through.
going to be like the first one.
Okay.
I was listening to it the other week.
Getting amped for the World Cup. Huh?
It's called
It's a
EA
good way to-
Sports FIFA Mix, and it's made by Spotify. So
Okay.
It's got like a gold soccer ball on the thing.
EA Sports. Okay. Yeah, there's so many good songs. I think there was that Foster the People song that was on one of them. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. Grasshoppers on this?
What does that even mean?
This TK Maestas song that I've been listening to. Just got into her.
Oh,
How far
oh,
does this
dude.
go back?
Too many good songs to like remember. Obviously, you can't remember all the song names either, but like, and it's just iconic. I think for me,
Soyo.
15 might still be my favorite soundtrack. Yeah, Soyo, dude. I think 15 might be my favorite soundtrack, honestly.
I'd probably
Dude,
go with 13 just because that was like my first eye-opening thing when I
see,
first
that's
got
the
that
thing.
FIFA.
My first FIFA, Brandon, was 14, so I didn't really play. I didn't play 13 at all. Like 14 and 15, like those two are like what kind of introduced me. Well, actually, no.
14 has a hell of a soundtrack though. 14 has got a good
14, yeah,
soundtrack
14
too.
gas. I will say Evan's FIFA 10 actually was the first FIFA I played, and that's what got me into Liverpool playing it way back then. So we'll say I'll give credit to that. Shout out to Evan
Yeah.
wherever you are.
Shout
Thank you
out
for
Evan.
gifting me
Shout
that
out
game.
Chimp.
Shout out Chim gifting me that game over spring break when I was exiled to Ellsworth for a week and a half. Good times. Good times.
I definitely remember running a lot of games on the FIFA 2010 World Cup demo back then.
Oh my God, South Africa, dude.
The demo,
You had the
it
Waka
was just
Waka
the
song
demo.
playing in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, boys. I think that's probably a good place to wrap up. Good hour and 30 minutes plus. It was fun. Good time.
Jeez.
Yeah. Good talk, man.
Good chop sesh. Good chop sesh. Great to
Um,
have you on, Brandon. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you'll always be
Anytime.
our first guest. Go down to history.
Or more appearances to come. Once the Vikings make the Super Bowl, and we got to preview that.
Goal to the
Yeah,
bowl.
I wouldn't mind
You heard it here first.
a Champions League preview would be good too. Maybe like a 2
Ooh,
on
yeah.
4. That'd be fun. But
And that's gonna be in
Championship
what,
Sunday, you know?
yeah, for sure. Or
bro?
European correspondent, no doubt.
All right.
This guy's Fabrizio Romano, bro, of the podcast. His catchphrase, it's like, here we go. That's what you got to say when you come on next time.
There we
An
go.
Italian,
Yes.
an Italian ass accent.
I want more Leon next time, but other than that,
If you ever want to talk about, more FIFA, come
there he
on.
is. Nice. I thought you were gonna say
Let's
tennis.
go.
Oh, well, tennis as well. I would be down to talk about that anytime, but I know that's not you guys' cup of tea. But if we're ever talking about more FIFA, like EA Sports FIFA, the game, include me. I spend too much of my life on that fucking game.
We'll do. Yeah. We'll try to get you on here again. But all right, guys.
But yeah, I mean, hey, sounds good.
Been fun.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, take it easy, Brandon.
Grigg and Rigg show
Good luck,
signing
bro.
off.
Sir.
Episode 2. It's been fun.